What's good, fam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. You can call me JD. In 2021, Nike promised us a lot of colorways of the Nike Dunk High as well as the low top. We've seen how popular Dunks were last year, and Nike, of course, trying to capitalize on that, give us as many colorways as they possibly can. But the Dunks that are dropping this year, they are nothing like the Dunks we've seen drop in 2020. I am quite a big fan of the Nike Dunk, and I have copped several pairs last year, including the Michigans, the Syracuse that you see back there. And I also recently copped the first drop of Dunks from 2021. In my hands, I have the Nike Dunk High in the Vast Gray colorway. So in this video, I will be comparing the differences between 2020 Dunks and 2021 Dunks. You can also call this the differences between the Nike Dunk Special Edition versus the GR Nike Dunk. Before you guys go ahead and decide to cop some of the Dunks that are dropping this year, I thought it was important that you guys are informed of what is different about these Dunks. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before we even start comparing the shoes, let's talk about the way that these Dunks have released. So the Special Edition Dunks, or the Dunks that released in 2020, they released specifically just on the Nike Sneakers app, as well as several boutique retailers. They were very hard to get. It was always like raffle releases only. So Europe has already seen the first drop of Nike Dunks in 2021. So just this past weekend, there were actually 4 colorways of Dunks that dropped on the very same day. I have the Vast Gray Dunk High right here. We also had this women's exclusive football gray pair drop. And in addition to that, there were 2 other Dunk Lows, a UNLV Dunk Low, as well as this nice blue Coast colorway. And all 4 of these Dunks did not release on the Nike Sneakers app. Instead, they released on the regular Nike app. Yes, there are 2 different apps, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. The Sneakers app is just for the special releases, the very exclusive sneakers. Whereas the regular Nike app, that's where you can buy pretty much everything else that Nike sells, such as, Air Force Ones, Jordan 1 mids and lows. And also, the retailers that got these are not the type of retailers you typically see getting any kind of high heat releases. For example, Foot Locker got them. Also here in Europe, Zalando got them. Even ASOS, like, can you believe ASOS actually getting releases of Dunks? That's how widely available these are. Granted, they were still hard to get. Of course, bots still exist, so it's always hard to get anything that resells. But a lot more retailers got this pair. Pretty much if your store sold shoes, you were able to get these. So that is one of the major differences between these 2 types of Dunks, and how you can tell very quickly whether it's a special release or a general release pair just by looking at which Nike app it releases in. Getting into the boxes, that is where you will notice another difference on the label of the box. The special release pairs that came out last year, it says Nike Dunk High SP. You see the men's size on the label, whereas the Dunks that released this year, it says Nike Dunk High Retro instead, and it has not only the men's size, you can also see the woman's size on the label of the sneaker. But let's get into the sneakers themselves. So here I have another pair of Nike Dunk Highs. This is a pretty similar looking colorway actually. This is the pure platinums that came out last year. And let us look at the biggest difference between the 2 sneakers, and that is in the quality. So the leather used on the special release Dunks, they are really, really good leather. In fact, I think it's even better leather than you see on a Jordan 1 High. It's nice and plush and soft, and you can see when you press on it, you can see the way the leather crinkles. Especially this pair, the pure platinums, which in my opinion is probably the nicest quality out of all the Dunk Highs we saw last year. This is the type of leather that you can tell the more and more you wear the shoe, the better the shoe will look. And if you compare the leather used on the pure platinums to the 2021 Dunks, these seem like Gucci. The leather used on these 2021 Dunks is just very poor quality, and I'm not just talking about this Vast Gray High pair. Some people mentioned in the comments that maybe I got a defective pair, but no, that is not the case. All of the pairs, not just of this, but basically all of those 4 colorways you saw drop on the Nike app, all of them have this very cheap feeling leather. You can see when you press down into the shoe, it doesn't crease at all. It feels like you're pressing on a button or something. It has almost like a cardboard or plasticky type of feel to it. On the toe box of the sneaker, it looks like the shoe is kind of dented or something. Those aren't creases. Those look like dents. A lot of you guys have hit me up on Instagram and told me that your pairs, even the red pair, the Coast pair, they also have weird dents like this. There's also this panda colorway coming up of the Nike Dunk Low, and that one too unfortunately is another GR pair, so expect the leather on that one to be the same. If I could compare this leather to any other shoe, I would compare it to a white Air Force One. I'm sure a lot of you guys, in fact maybe all of you guys, have had a pair of Air Force Ones at some point in your life. If you feel the leather on that shoe, you know exactly what I mean. It doesn't feel very good quality. It feels extremely synthetic. Another difference on the shoe is the laces. You can see the laces on the older pairs of Dunks. They have these nice cotton laces. However, the laces on these newer Dunks, they have kind of like a shiny look to it, and they also look a bit thinner than the other Dunks. And you also don't get any extra laces with any of these newer Dunks. Whereas with the special edition pairs like the Michigan, for example, you got some yellow laces extra. You also had some white laces. You get several extra laces with these pairs. However, with these, you just get one pair. You can also see the ankle collar of the shoe. So if you look at the pure platinums, you can see how nice and plush that is. And also this inner lining feels nice and soft. It's some nice cushioning for the ankle area, but it's definitely not the same with these newer Dunks. You can see how thin that is. And this material they've used on the inner lining, it's not very plush and it doesn't really cushion your feet at all. One more difference I noticed is on the toe box. So this is the Varsity Maze pair, another Dunk High that I have. The mud guard is definitely higher than it is on the regular pair of Dunks. It's a pretty thin mud guard around the toe box on this Vast Gray pair. And lastly, this is more of a subtle difference. Even the shape of the shoe is a bit different to me. On these newer general release Dunks, the silhouette just seems a little bit flatter to me than these 2020 special release Dunks. Those are the physical differences that I noticed. I definitely have a strong preference for the special edition Dunks compared to the GR ones. In fact, I was quite disappointed, to be honest, when I got this pair, and I don't plan on keeping it. However, the question remains, what Dunks should you buy? And that is honestly up to you. If you don't really care about quality, if colorway is the most important thing to you, there's definitely going to be a ton of very nice colorways of Dunk Lows dropping this year. And it looks like almost all of them are going to be just general release Dunks like this Vast Gray pair. A lot of people, maybe even most people, buy shoes just because of how they look. I just wanted to make this video so you guys understand what to expect when you buy these Dunks, especially for those of you who want to, for example, buy that Coast pair, which is reselling for very high amounts right now, over $400. I know I personally wouldn't pay $400 for a shoe with that type of quality. I think a very good comparison for these two pairs are basically Jordan 1s versus Jordan 1 mids. You know, you usually get much nicer quality on the Jordan 1 highs. However, some of the Jordan 1 mids, not gonna lie, there are some very nice colorways, so people don't mind spending a lot of resale on those. So that's why I expect that these Dunks, even if the quality is terrible, if people like the colorway, they're still gonna have high resale prices. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's your money. You buy what you like, you buy what you think looks good. The whole purpose of this video is just to kind of warn you on what to expect with these newer Dunks that you will be copying in 2021. So let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think of these newer Dunks compared to the special edition pairs? Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right here. It is at JDKick6. I do drop a lot of content on there as well, and it's probably the easiest place to contact me. So yeah, until my next video, see you next time. Peace.